Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Shining Time. I'm making this video about Obama and his recent announcement supporting gay marriage. Now this is an interesting turn of events because Obama has pretty much been waffling on his stance on gay marriage ever since he started to campaign for president back in 2007 and eventually won the presidency in 2008. So yeah, he's been waffling a lot, and now he's finally nailed down his stance. And there's a whole bunch of people out there who have given various reasons on his motivations for supporting gay marriage. And we all know Obama is a politician. Politicians rarely ever tell the truth. Everything they say is calculated, planned, and they always have some ulterior motive. So Obama most certainly is doing this not out of the goodness of his heart or because he feels some kinship with all the people out there who are homosexuals and are not allowed to marry. He's doing this because he wants support. He wants support, and he needs to position himself to be opposite of Romney. He needs a way to differentiate himself from Romney, make himself seem to be on the opposite side of issues in Romney, because there have been claims by a lot of people that Obama and Romney are very similar in their political agendas. So Obama needs something now to push it, to set him apart from Romney. And not only that, let's face it, a lot of homosexuals in this country have a lot of money, especially in the white homosexual communities of the West Coast. There's a lot of money out there in Hollywood, in San Francisco, a lot of money in those places. So Obama needs those support. And California is a blue state. They typically vote Democrat, and so Obama needs that support. If you know about the Electoral College, you will know that it's not necessarily how many states you win, but which states you win. For instance, you can win a certain number of states more than your opponent. But if your opponent wins key states, the big states, then that person will win the presidency. And if Obama wins the big states with the largest number of electoral college votes, then he's going to retain the presidency. And that's what he's positioning himself to do. If he gets California, Ohio, New York, Florida, and Texas, it's a wrap. Now, people are saying he's not going to get Texas or Florida. And Ohio is a very big battleground state. So, he's positioning himself to get that vote. And that's what this is about. Now, moving on to the response from the black zeitgeist, the African American community out there, the blogosphere, the black church, the commentators, the random talking heads on television. You know, everybody's got their 2 cents. I have my 2 cents. I just want to comment on some of the things I've seen and give my opinion at the end of this video on gay marriage. So, you know, the black church the black church predictably came out and said, you know, we're not in support of this. Obama betrayed us. You know, he's going back on his word. He's a sellout. You know, all the typical nonsense that comes out of the black church. And this one guy, Pastor Jamal Bryant, said that Obama didn't give him any warning. He didn't give the black church any warning. Like, who the fuck are you? Why should he give you a warning when he announces his stance on something? Why should he? What do you want him to do? Go to the black church and say, tomorrow I'm going to announce that I'm in support of gay marriage? Why should he? Why? I mean, what? He doesn't have to explain anything to you. You know, these people, I don't know what you people expect from Obama. Just because his father, a Kenyan, knocked up some white chick from Kansas or Kentucky or wherever the fuck she was from, don't mean he has a mentality of trying to help the black community. A lot of you people are fucking delusional out there. Just because his genetics, half of his genetics come from an African, don't mean he sympathizes with your condition or is even familiar with how you live. This dude grew up, he was raised by his white family. Alright? You can't expect him to, I mean, I don't know what you people expect him to be. The Messiah? You guys been waiting on Messiah for a long time. So it's not surprising that you see Obama as just the second coming of Jesus, and that he's supposed to deliver you out of the hardships of the realities you're facing. You know, I never expected anything from Obama. I never ever expected him to do anything for the black community. Nothing like that. Not even because he's half white or because of, you know, anything of that nature. It's just because he's a president. He's a president of the United States who got in there primarily because of the white liberal vote. Most of his campaign donors are white liberals. That's who he's going to support. The people who keep him in office. That's what it is. That's the reality. But, you know, so many people, you know, that living in the black church don't want to deal with reality, but that's a whole nother subject. But anyway, this whole gay marriage thing is really blowing up. And I don't know, the mainstream media in America and the government and these politicians, they seem to want to talk about all kinds of meaningless shit except the real problems in this country. Nobody wants to talk about the budget deficit. Nobody wants to talk about national debt. Nobody wants to talk about education, how to fix it, and how budgets are continually being slashed for education and kids. Nobody wants to talk about that. The president doesn't want to mention how in the world they're going to try and fix the debt that's spiraling out of control. Nah, let's not talk about that. Now let's continually talk about gay marriage. Let's focus on that. Because that's one of the major issues in this country. And let's face it, the only reason why gay marriage is an issue is because America is this sort of conservative, pseudo-Christian nation. There are lots of countries across the world where gay marriage is legal and it hasn't ended civilization and nothing like that. You know, the Greeks, who you hear about all the fucking time in academia, who Europeans love to point to as the foundation of democracy. These people practice homosexuality openly. The Greeks, who these people love to claim were the height of art and literature and all this mathematics and all that shit, they were gay. They practiced homosexuality openly. It was expected. It was normal for wealthy, powerful men in Greek society to have a few boys on the side. That's what it was. And America seems to have this hang up on gay marriage because of the Bible or whatever. I don't know, whatever. They'll quote you a few passages from the Bible and ignore all the other shit in there, all the other horrible things that they don't carry out on people anymore. This whole gay marriage thing is just ridiculous. I am kind of, I don't know if I would say surprised or shocked that Obama supported gay marriage. I am surprised that he didn't waffle and finally took a stand on something. He finally gets a freaking spine when it comes to gay marriage. When it comes to, standing up to foreign powers and all of that shit, forget it. But gay marriage, Obama finally grows a pair. Anyways, this video is getting long. In my opinion, gays should have the right to marry. I don't see why they shouldn't. Homosexuality has been around for as long as humans have been around, and civilization has not collapsed yet. So they should have all the rights and privileges that everybody else has. Now, I don't know. The funny thing is, the interesting thing is, I don't really know what the consequences will be on society. I don't really know. But I also don't like the idea of anybody's civil rights being trampled on, or I don't like the idea of any class of people being considered or having different rights than everyone else. That seems too familiar. It seems too disturbing to me. So they should be allowed to marry, and they should be allowed to live their life in happiness like everybody else. It's not like heterosexual couples haven't fucked up the institution of marriage anyway. I'm looking at you, T.O. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for listening.